Now at 5, Joplin police report a rise in calls about counterfeit money. Plus, work begins to revamp Joplin's Empire Market with a community kitchen. And what a new report shows about the Joplin response to the Uvalde, Texas school shooting.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police say they're seeing more reports of counterfeit money. This is KOAM News at 5. As more fake bills circulate in the community, local businesses are being more vigilant. But it's not just businesses that need to be aware. Counterfeit money has also been spotted at yard sales.
Anytime you're going to be dealing in a cash business or the sale of anything, purchase of anything in cash, it's a good idea to be aware of the possibility of counterfeit and take the steps to train yourself and make yourself aware of the things you can look for to protect yourself.
If you come across counterfeit money, you should report it to the police department immediately. The Empire Market in Joplin has demolished its old community kitchen and is beginning work on a new one. Officials say the new market will be 1,500 square feet. The executive director for the Downtown Joplin Alliance, Lori Hahn, says the new market will incorporate the best of all things local.
Farmers market, artisan market, we kind of refer to it as a city market, something you might find in like Kansas City at the River Market or the Soulard Market in St. Louis, something like that kind of incorporates the best of all things local. We focus a lot on local food, local art, and just activities and entertainment really to bring the community together.
The market's been able to raise $300,000, but that's so far, but they say they need $150,000 more to reach their goal. Picking blueberries can be a family tradition, but for one Joplin area family, this tradition's coming to an end. After 8 years of growing blueberries and friendships, the Robertson family farm decided this is going to be their last year. Family says maintaining 2,000 bushes is a lot of work, and now they want to retire to travel, spend more time with loved ones. James and Sandy want to do something special for the end of their last season by donating all proceeds to the Humane Society.
The Humane Society, I think, is always struggling, getting enough donations to help them out with their food and other things that people do over there for them. And both my kids who are grown suggested, why don't we donate it to the Humane Society? And I said, terrific.
The last day to pick blueberries at the farm is this coming Sunday. The family has already sold half of their crop and hopes to sell the rest by the end of the summer. Doug Eddy joins us now with a look at this continuing hot weather.
Yeah, all week long we've had excessive heat with temperatures right around 100, if not above 100 degrees, and our excessive heat warnings continue through the evening into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. Also heat advisories, so very hot, very humid. Little relief in sight, which is good. We do have some clouds which are kind of rotating through, but nothing underneath the clouds. You can see a few little thunderstorms up across parts of Nebraska and also Kansas. This little wave is going to push through later on tonight, and it should give us a few scattered thunderstorms late tonight into the morning hours. You can see here's 1 a.m. This is mainly in our northern counties. Scattered hit and miss storms into the morning hours, which we could definitely use, and also a little bit of relief from the heat. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. A new report on the school massacre in Uvalde, Texas confirms the police could have stopped it before 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. An active shooter training center run by Texas State University points to multiple occasions when officers had a chance to target the gunman at Robb Elementary School. Reporter Janet Chamleon has reaction to the new report.
Stunning new information details missed opportunities Uvalde police had in preventing the Robb Elementary massacre. An officer armed with a rifle had the gunman in sight as the shooter approached the school building, but didn't fire. Instead, the report indicates the officer asked his supervisor for permission to shoot the suspect. The supervisor either did not hear or responded too late.
The use of force decisions always rest with the officer who's going to use the force. There was no requirement for that officer to ask for permission to shoot.
The report highlights another missed chance. The first officer arriving on the scene might have seen the gunman to prevent him from entering the building if he hadn't been driving so fast, or instead approached on foot. And the report concludes what many have believed. that based on current evidence, it is possible that some of the people who died could have been saved if they had received more rapid medical care.
We believe there should have been an entry at that as soon as you can.
The new information follows last week's emotional city council meeting.
This was not supposed to happen. You failed because you're not taking care of the city. They are 19 children dead, massacred.
A Texas legislative committee is also investigating and is expected to release its report soon. Janet Shamlian, CBS News.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is resigning after a series of scandals turned his own Conservative Party against him. His resignation came after more than 50 members of his party quit. Johnson today expressed some remorse he didn't complete everything he set out to do when he was swept into power in 2019. He says he'll remain in office until a new prime minister is chosen. WNBA star Brittany Griner pleaded guilty today inside a Russian courtroom to drug charges. She was arrested after cannabis oil was found in her luggage in February. The U.S. says she is being wrongfully detained. Griner faces up to 10 years in prison and is going to be back in court later this month when she is expected to officially testify. Still ahead, why some federal lawmakers are asking the FTC to investigate the social media app TikTok. And next in Health Watch, how diversity among dermatologists could improve health outcomes. Topping today's Health Watch, turns out there's actual science behind feeling hangry when you haven't eaten in a while. A study by Anglia Ruskin University tracked participants' hunger and mood over 3 weeks. They found hunger leads to stronger feelings of anger and irritability and lower overall levels of pleasure. No surprise there. An underactive thyroid can increase the risk of dementia. That's what a study by the American Academy of Neurology found. People over age 65 with hypothyroidism had an 80% higher chance of dementia than elderly people with normal thyroid function. An overactive thyroid or hyperthyroidism was not found to increase the risk of dementia. While African Americans make up 13% of the U.S. population, only 3% of dermatologists nationwide are black. And nearly half of all dermatologists report feeling their medical training did not properly prepare them to treat darker skin, which can lead to increased chances of misdiagnosis or a lack of treatment. That's what's happened to one California man who was misdiagnosed for 2 years. Reporter Nate Burleson has his story.
Despite 7 years of treatments, Shane Bloomfield's skin discoloration remained a mystery to multiple dermatologists.
So I looked like a crispy critter. A burn victim, was embarrassed to walk down the hall.
His last doctor simply gave up.
He stood right in front of me and said, "I can't help you anymore." There was a hopelessness and then a little glimmer of anger.
Shane was finally referred to Dr. Netta Ebeluck, the director of USC Skin of Color and Pigmentary Disorders program at Keck Medicine.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Bloomfield. How are you? So nice to see you.
Right away, Dr. Ebeluck recognized Shane had something more commonly found in melanin-rich skin, lichen planus pigmentosus, which causes darkening, as well as related scarring type of hair loss called lichen planopilaris.
I think there was just immediate relief, to even just have a name to put towards it. Like what it actually is that he has, the fact that the two things were connected, which he never realized was possible.
Dr. Ebeluck says at least once a week she meets with patients who have been misdiagnosed or undertreated.
The more pigment that somebody has, the more it can change the way that a condition can look. What became defined as classic for any condition became what we see in lighter skin, right? But that's not necessarily classic in darker skin.
She now offers a fellowship at her clinic to provide much-needed perspective for dermatologists in training.
Many of these conditions, even if they don't kill you, they have profound effects on quality of life.
Because Shane went many years before being properly diagnosed, he may not make a full recovery. However, he remains optimistic.
I'm confident that we are on the right track for treatments and that this will be reversed. I'm still hopeful.
Nate Burleson, CBS News.
A study in the British Journal of Dermatology found an underrepresentation of patients with darker skin in dermatology textbooks. The pictures used teach about skin conditions mostly show light skin, which can lead to misdiagnoses in people with dark skin. Heart failure patients who recently lost a loved one face a greater risk of death themselves. The American College of Cardiology found that broken heart syndrome is an actual very real phenomenon, especially among heart patients who lost a spouse or partner. The greatest risk was during the first week after losing a loved one. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, while the Federal Reserve is signaling more interest rate hikes could be on the horizon.
Plus, we have some thunderstorm chances and a little bit of relief in sight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, it turned out to be another hot, very humid day. Once again, temperatures above 100 degrees. Our fourth day this summer that we have seen triple-digit heat. Seventh day that we've been 98 or greater across the area. We do have some mid and upper level clouds kind of shooting through the region. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Excessive heat warnings continue. Kansas, Missouri, parts of Oklahoma, and then heat advisories into Arkansas. And these continue into the daytime hours on Friday. And we haven't had a ton of rain, so most of the area is fairly dry. In fact, kind of a moderate drought once you head over south of Springfield toward Branson. So we could use a little bit of rain. We do have some chances in the forecast as we go through about the next day or two. Look at our temps, upper 90s to near 100 degrees once you get out across southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Our humidity is high, dew points upper 60s to lower 70s. That puts us in that muggy to soupy range, and that's what we're going to continue to see as we head into Friday. Look at our heat indices. Most of us about 105 degrees outside right now. Kind of hazy. We got those mid and upper level clouds sitting at 99. Heat index 104 is the way it actually feels to your body. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 90s into the 80s. Overnight low only right around 80 degrees for us tonight. Here are those clouds. We had some dying showers and even a few thunderstorms that were north of us earlier today, but not a whole bunch going on. We are watching some thunderstorms, parts of Nebraska, northern parts of Kansas. That little wave is going to head toward us later on tonight, and that will give us some scattered thunderstorms across the region. This is going to be after midnight, but you can see these kind of hit and miss storms late tonight into tomorrow morning. Not all of us are going to see rain, only about 30% of us. These are going to be very hit and miss. We'll start to warm through the 80s during the morning hours, and then again tomorrow afternoon, upper 90s. A little bit cooler than what we've seen over the past couple days, but still extremely hot. 79 to start, 97 by noon, high temp 99, isolated thunderstorm late, isolated thunderstorm during the morning hours. But look at the winds. So here's 4:30. We have a northerly wind, a cold front sliding through. This is actually going to help us out as we go into the weekend. The humidity is going to drop a little bit, and our temperatures a little bit cooler as we go into Saturday afternoon. Look at our highs Saturday, right around lower 90s, 91, 92 degrees. So it looks a lot better than what we have seen over the past couple days. Heading into Sunday, much of the same temperature start right around 70 degrees. Heat indices still up there. Once again for us tomorrow, about 105, 107, but at least we're going to get a little bit of relief over the weekend. 99 tomorrow, 92 Saturday, 97 on Sunday. Unfortunately, back to 101 on Monday, staying hot all next week with high temps into the mid-90s and not much in the way of rainfall.
Hardly any, in fact.
I know, it stinks.
It's hot and it's dry, and you're right, it stinks. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Doug. Here's a look at our tower camera. It's sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction. Work is continuing on the KOAM More Power project. Check it out anytime on our website, koamnewsnow.com/power. Coming up, the national security concerns some federal officials are raising about TikTok. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Elmer Crawford served in the U.S. Army from 1953 to 1975. His service includes time in Vietnam, and he received a Bronze Star. We salute First Sergeant Elmer Crawford, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Federal Reserve is signaling more interest rate hikes on the horizon. Minutes from the Fed's mid-June meeting indicate significantly higher rates could be in need to rein in spiraling inflation. At the same time, the central bank acknowledged rate hikes could weaken the economy. After last month's meeting, the Fed raised its key rate by 0.75 of a percentage point. That was the biggest single increase in almost 3 decades. Security concerns involving the popular social media app TikTok are growing. 2 lawmakers on the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate TikTok, citing issues with how it's using users' data. It comes as a leader of the FCC is pressuring Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores, citing national security concerns. Reporter Jen Sullivan has a closer look at how TikTok is responding.
Is the world's most popular app, TikTok, a national security risk? According to one Federal Communications Commission official, it's more than just an entertainment app.
It functions as a sophisticated surveillance tool that is harvesting vast amounts of data on U.S. users.
FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr is calling on Apple and Google to remove TikTok from app stores because of security issues, claiming the app collects personal data like search and browsing history, biometrics, and location information, and in some cases, draft messages.
That's a problem, not just a national security problem, but to me it looks like a violation of the terms of the App Store.
TikTok is owned by the Beijing-based ByteDance, which means the company is essentially under the control of the Chinese government, which the FCC fears can take data and infiltrate communications. A recent BuzzFeed report uncovered leaked audio from internal meetings in which employees in China reportedly said they were able to repeatedly access U.S. user data. But TikTok insists all U.S. user data is stored on American soil.
We have never shared information with the Chinese government, nor would we.
Michael Beckerman, TikTok's head of public policy in the Americas, says the claim that TikTok is collecting browser history is simply false.
TikTok is not a security threat, and we're doing everything that we can, going above and beyond, working with trusted companies like Oracle, talking to actual agencies in the government that are responsible for national security to make sure that this is cleared up.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The 2 lawmakers on the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee who are calling for an FTC probe are Democrat Mark Warner and Republican Marco Rubio. The FTC has not yet responded to their request. According to a recent report from the Almond Board of California, exports of the popular nut are down 13% this year. That's despite the crop doing well. The Los Angeles Times reports about 1.3 billion pounds of unsold almonds are stuck in processing and packing plants. Experts say while shipping costs have improved, they are still high. Travelers this summer should probably be prepared to carry their own luggage. That's because a large majority, 97% of U.S. hotels say they're understaffed. That's according to a survey from the American Hotel and Lodging Association. And about half of 500 hotels polled last month said they are severely understaffed. The group says it's trying to fill 130,000 vacant positions nationwide. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, efforts to save one of America's earliest pieces of history from rising sea levels. Then on KOAM News at 6, an Oronogo, Missouri man pleads guilty to kidnapping a Webb City woman. Plus, we're going to have more on the impact of counterfeit money on local businesses in the Joplin area. And Oklahoma's treasurer announces the state's gross revenue for the past fiscal year. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Okay, the good news. Tomorrow's forecast high, not triple digits. The bad news,
it's close.
This close. It's going to be hot.
Yeah, near 100 once again. So we're going to make it an alert day again. Some scattered thunderstorms late tonight into the morning hours, and then a little bit cooler on Saturday. At least the humidity is going to be lower.
Okay, so possibly some of us won't quite reach triple digits tomorrow, but maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.